Hi, this is Brett Matt Sura. I'm the founder of the Real Estate Role Playing Group, and I'd like to welcome you into the Real Estate Role Playing Group. And I'm creating this video, a quick start video, just to share with you how you can just dive right in and get on next week's schedule and start role playing. So, first and foremost, if you just signed up, you should have received a welcome email in your inbox. So, you're going to want to pause this video and go there now and check that and make sure it's there. If it's not there, check your spam folder. And if you find it in your spam folder, make sure you drag and drop that into your inbox so that emails from this email address uh, don't go to your spam and they go to your inbox. Now, if you don't find the email, that means there's a good chance that you may have misspelled your email when you were inputting it, when you were signing up. So just go back to realestateroleplaying.com and re-sign up and see if the emails come back that way. Now, as far as the welcome email that comes in, there is, among other things, there is going to be a link to go to a sign up page to get on next week's role playing. And the page that you see here right now is what that sign up page looks like. Now, you have to sign up for the role playing group each and every week. The sign-ups open at 10 a.m. on Monday and they close at 7 p.m. on Friday. Be sure that you get signed up between that week period of sign up while it's open, because once 7 o'clock closes, the system automatically shuts down signups and we start working on pairing you up with another partner of the role playing days that you want to role play on. Now, this role playing is pretty simple. You can actually see that when you go to the group, you can see here that how many days, hours, and minutes are left for the sign up. Again, it closes at 7 p.m. on Friday. For this video, you can see that the following week, I'm doing this at the January 2020. In fact, next week that we're getting signed up for is week 5 of that. And this is pretty simple. You just put in your first name, your last name, your phone number, email address. Make sure it's all accurate. You're going to self-assess your role-playing ability. If you're a novice, you are someone who's new to real estate and or sales. You're someone who's not really accustomed or never have role-played before. You're new to prospecting. You're new to the Mike Ferry system. And your focus is really just getting comfortable in a sales conversation and understanding the talk track. That should be your main focus. So that means that you're a novice. If you're an intermediate, that means that you're somebody who's been in real estate and or sales before. You're comfortable with role playing. You've done it before. You're comfortable with practice or prospecting, and you're familiar and comfortable with the Mike Ferry sales system. And you've memorized the scripts, and now you're just working on internalizing those scripts to make them your own. And not only are you going to be working on the talk tracks on the scripts, but you're also going to be focusing very much on common objection handling techniques. So that would make you an intermediate. An advanced person is someone who I look at as a sales Jedi. This is someone who is a veteran real estate salesperson. You've been around the Mike Ferry system, or you've been around scripts and dialogues and objection handling. Your main focus is just continuing to get better, to continuing to internalize the scripts, to um, show up on these objection handling or these training calls is the form of sparring, right? Real estate sparring is what you're doing, or sales skill sparring. So that's the difference between novice, intermediate, and advanced. You're going to self-assess yourself. The majority of the group is intermediate. One fourth is usually novice, and one fourth is they self-identify as advanced. Now, this is, be honest with yourself, right? Um, you get a self-assess. You don't have to pass a test, but if you self-assess yourself as an expert and you're really not an expert and you're actually getting in the ring with an expert, that's like someone who just started boxing, getting in with Mike Tyson, and I'm probably going to hear something about it. So be honest with yourself. If you're an intermediate, that's usually the safe way to go. But if you're a novice, you're a novice. It is what it is. Everybody has to be a novice before they turn intermediate. Everyone has to be intermediate before they get to be an expert. So just be honest with yourself so that we can actually align you with the right people so that you can better yourself. Um, Moving on from there, after you self-assess your role-playing ability, you are going to select what groups you want to participate in. If you are a novice, you should be very heavy into the scripts. shouldn't really be focusing a whole lot on objection handling or listing presentation just yet. Um, After, if you're an intermediate or advanced, you should be having all three of these scripts. I have a recommended schedule training curriculum for each um, level of skill in another video. But as a member of the group, the more you practice, the better you get. The better you get, the more deals you do. The more deals you do, the more money you make, right? Because you're never going to be able to perform live at a higher level than the level of what you practiced. So if you're not practicing, or if you've never practiced, I bet you're winging everything else beyond that, right? You're winging your prospecting. You're winging your lead follow-up. You're winging your listing presentation. The more dialed in that you get that, the more effective you get, the more efficient you get, the more money you'll make in fewer amount of hours putting into it. It's just how it works, how everything works. Everything in life works that way. So anyways, if you select all three of these groups, you will have a drop-down menu for each one of these groups. It's real simple. You simply just choose yes or no on the time. So the role-playing script is 8 a.m. Monday through Friday in Pacific Standard Time. So I'm going to go yes, no, yes, no, yes. Okay, that's what I'm doing for my scripts. And then at 9 a.m., I'm going to do the off days, right? I'm going to go no, yes, no, yes, no. And then I am going to say, yes, I'm going to role play the listing presentation every Tuesday at 1:30 at Pacific Standard Time. Now, you need to be role playing, and your role play needs to be as real life like as possible. Now, it's impossible for a North American role playing group for you to be face to face in the same room with somebody physically when doing your presentation. But with technology, there is video web conferencing. I do 4 or 5 video web conferencing a day. I do it with recruiting interviews, listing interviews. This is the way that we communicate. Um, I don't recommend that you focus on the phone. In fact, you don't have that option with this group. You have to do this with video conferencing. The reason why that is unless you do a lot of listing presentations on the phone, then the next best option for you is going to be the video web conference. Not to mention, we have you use Skype. Skype has been around for a long time. It's a Microsoft product. It's a solid platform, and it provides free recording for 30 days. So you can actually record your sessions. If you have a real estate coach, you and your coach can review them, or you can review them by yourself. Find out where I mean, this is the worst thing, right? Listening to yourself talk, but it's how you're going to get better. But it records free for 30 days. If you don't have a Skype account, go to skype.com. It's free. Set it up. Learn how to use it. Get a Skype handle. And then each week you're going to type in your Skype handle right here. Mine just happens to be Brett Matsura. Everything's Brett Matsura. And then after you get all of that set up, you're just going to hit the next button, and then you're going to get a confirmation page. You're going to go through and you're going to make sure your name is spelled right, your phone number is correct, your email is correct. Here is the days of the scripts that you signed up for. See, yes, no, yes, no, yes, and then no, yes, no, yes, no. That's correct. And then yes, yes for the listing presentation. Those are accurate. This is why it's important that you make sure this is accurate, because you're acknowledging that this schedule that you've submitted is correct, and you understand and you agree that if you cancel on your partner after 6 p.m. the prior day, or if you just full out just no show on them, then you're going to be assessed $50 per no show fee per occurrence. And you also acknowledge that you're not going to be able to sign up for any future role playing schedules until the fees are paid. Now, as an example, in this example, I did a lot of yeses here. Let's say that I missed my Wednesday 8 a.m. with someone, I just stood them up, and I missed my Thursday at 9 a.m. and I just stood them up, or I canceled like at 9 p.m. the following day. Those are both no-shows. You just, and you're going to get assessed a $50 no-show fee. $50 times 2 is $100. Half of those fees that are collected is going to go to the person that you stood up, or maybe if you were the one who got stood up and they paid it, then you would actually get paid that. And The reason why we do that is not necessarily as a revenue grab. The reason why we do that is accountability. 87% of the people who join this group and get assessed a no-show fee because they weren't reliable are they don't come back. 87%, right, don't come back. And that's fine with us because we're kind of a gnarly group of people. We are serious about our practice, we're serious about our profession, and we're serious about getting better. And we're serious about making sure that if I'm going to show up with 100%, I expect the other person to show up. And we are very much uh, relentless on this rule. There are no exceptions. You don't get a second chance if you stand up a listing presentation, so you don't get a second chance here. So if you get assessed a no-show fee, if it's not accurate, if it's not fair, take a screenshot that you were there and that you're there trying to make it. But if in fact you just don't show up, you're not going to be able to get back in until you actually pay the fee. Doesn't matter if it's a week, doesn't matter if it's 3 months, doesn't matter if it's a year. The system tracks it all. So, anyways, with that said, you're going to acknowledge that everything is correct, and you're going to hit confirm and submit. And then you're going to be taken to your almost done page. This almost done page, you are going to get an email either confirming A, that your sign up was accepted, or B, that something was wrong with your email and it was not accepted. So if you are one of those agents that have a dozen emails, if you signed up within this group for your Gmail account, it's the only Gmail account that you could work within this system. So at times, some people forget what email they signed up with, which is shouldn't be a problem because on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you'll receive multiple reminders at the verified email that you need to sign up. So just make sure that you use that email address when you sign up, because you're not going to be able to get signed up with any other email address. The system will reject it. But okay, so that's it for my quick introduction to get you started into real estate role playing. I hope this provided clarity to you. As you know, you're going to be open to a lot of different types of training made available in this group. So looking forward to get to know you, and happy role playing.